Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I wanted to make one that I think is relevant for everybody at this point in time in Magic the Gathering. The price of cards on the reserve list, Legacy making a comeback, and cards like the original dual lands going up. Just a huge pain for anybody who wants to get involved in those formats, or even just wants to play with a lot of these cards in casual formats like Commander. It can be really difficult for people to figure out how to play this game without going broke. Now, the easiest option would be to have whatever cards you have, keep them, don't expand your collection, don't expand anything. Just don't buy any more cards and stick with playing decks that you've already made. Yeah, it's not going to include some of the interesting newer cards in the format, but you're also not spending money at all on the game, but you're still being able to play it. You're still able to play and enjoy this game without spending any money on it. The downside in this approach is that if there's a good local game store in your area, and you like supporting them, they're really good, they're really nice to customers, this would hurt them the most. So what I'm going to tell you is stay away from sealed product. This is probably the easiest thing you could do because it still allows you the ability to buy cards that you need for your decks or cards you just want to collect. You don't have to buy sealed. I rarely ever do it. I might just buy one booster box per set, but that's about it. Whatever I need, I usually just get singles from my local game store, and that's about it. And you think you might be hurting your local game store by not buying sealed product, but believe it or not, the profit margins for sealed product, especially now, they're making it even harder on the local game stores. I think it used to be around $70 per box that you could buy one as a store, and now they increased it to like 80 something. Their profit margin for sealed product is a lot smaller than it is for singles, and typically this is kind of the same deal if you go to pawn shops or you go to any place where you have to resell something that's a specialty. It's not something like gold and silver. These are things that you can exchange on the market. The liquidity of gold and silver is just ridiculous. Whereas the ability to move something like a magic card from Legends is not going to be as easy. One of the Power 9 Mox cards, whatever it is, a lot harder to sell one of those. So when you go to buy one of these cards, if you're the store owner, the thing that you want to do is make sure that you have the highest possible profit margin on that card. So you're usually going to try to lowball them without insulting them, which you're going to want to aim about 50% of the actual value of that card, or the estimated value, 50 to 60%. You want to make sure that you have enough potential for profit. And this is something that's very frustrating for many customers. They don't understand why. Keep in mind, it's not as scummy as GameStop and how they deal with trade-ins, basically giving you pennies. At local game stores, for the most part, they're going to give you half of what the cards are actually worth, just so that they can sell it for the full price and make more money off of it. But that's a much larger profit margin for singles than it is for sealed products. So if you bought $100 worth of singles, just keep in mind that's more money that they're making off of that versus just buying one booster box, which is usually around $100. Because I think the profit margin for a long time was about maybe 30%. They spend about 70 to get the box and they're selling it for around 100. Profit margin about like 50% is a lot better. Now, why do I bring this up? Because specifically in Commander, this is probably the best thing that you can do. Buying booster boxes is crazy, super expensive, especially if you want to get all the cards you need. There are some chase cards and sets that can be worth $30, $40, $50 at times, but for the most part, the cards you need aren't going to be that expensive, and you can easily just buy them as singles from your game store and save a whole bunch of money, especially if you don't play with too many decks. You don't have to get multiple copies of cards. You're usually pretty good. Singleton formats are usually the way to go anyway, but just thought that would be some good advice for some of you who are looking to save some money without having to completely abandon the game or your local game store. I think it's a win-win for everybody. Maybe not so much for Wizards of the Coast, but you are still supporting the game, you're still playing it, you're still supporting the game stores that promote Wizards game. So at the end of the day, they shouldn't be too upset with me. But you guys have a wonderful day. Void here signing off. See you all next video.